Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to what should be Monday Night Lights once again, happening on a Tuesday night.
Tuesday Night Lights.
Tuesday Night Lights, or just Random Night Lights, is going to be the name of the show moving forward. No, we had
a Lego movie reference.
Yeah.
Taco Tuesday, but on a Friday.
Yeah. We had, of course, you had the last game of the Super Regionals, so we figured let's just go ahead and move this to Tuesday since we've got one more game of the Super Regionals to knock out. Then that way we can kind of cover a little bit more. We have times for at least we know the time for Arkansas and LSU. So, we'll get into that here in just a second. Make sure you guys like, share, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We do appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Shout out to Patreon supporters. Month of May was fantastic. We got a whole new list of names. The updated list for the month of May that'll drop after the show. Shout out to everyone who's a part of that. We do have we got some pretty nifty cards that are going to be a part of the June giveaway, including a Corliss Williamson gold pin autographed card. That's for legendary status members. They're going to get a shot at winning that card along with a couple other autographed cards as well. What's up, ASN? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. I hope you. Speaking of a winner, that guy right there just won something.
What did he win?
He got a card.
Oh, sweet. I thought you were going to say he won a raffle or something. I was like, damn, for real?
No. Oh, man, that would be great.
Somebody from Rogers won it.
Was it in NWA?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was
Hey, we called it, by the way, that it was not going to be over 200,000.
Yeah.
It was close, though.
It was closer than I thought. I ain't gonna lie.
It was definitely close. So yeah, congrats to the winner. What was the final? Do we know?
190 something. I think it was 195, 180. I think they won 94,000, 95,000. Okay. So it was up there.
So 188.
Pretty good.
That's pretty great, man.
It'll buy us a 3-star for sure.
Hogball Burners in chat. Shout out to
Hogball.
He's giving you the shout out.
My man.
That's right. He got the autographed Kobe Hamilton. That's
sick.
right. Cheers, man.
Nice.
I fixed Joe Adams' mom's garage door one time.
You're plugged in. Didn't you also Sean Andrews?
Andrews. That's right.
Sean Andrews' whole family's garage doors.
That's why we got his son for basketball. Was Travis the whole time?
Travis was the secret weapon the entire time.
I'll do this for free if you send your son to Arkansas.
I'm moving back to Little Rock, sir.
I don't know. This is the most random thing I've seen so far in chat. I wish I could get my carport closed in. The neighbor leaves it. Oh, well, there you go, Fishman. Okay, there you go.
Come on, man. The garage door guy's like, you know what he wants.
Well, I didn't read the entire thing. I was just kind of skimming through.
I just thought John Hawes's comment that he wasn't wearing pants was going to be the one.
I was going to completely ignore it.
Nothing yet.
I know he's trying to make us laugh.
Nothing yet. He's going to want the link too, if that is the case.
True.
If he's naked. So we have quite a bit to talk about. If you guys haven't already, like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Arkansas, Tennessee. I wanted to get your reactions, just your thoughts. Did you think that Arkansas was going to eliminate Tennessee in just 2 games?
No, I mean, I didn't. It was in Discord. It was on here. I said 2 out of 3, but not 2-0.
I was hopeful.
And the way they handed it to him in the second game, I didn't see that happening at all.
I was gloriously drunk when that happened. And I was just like, in the middle of a restaurant. Don't care. It was wonderful.
Yeah. You watched it, right, Ty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We did a whole watch party in Discord. By the way, we plan on doing that again this weekend.
Yeah, but when you watch it in Discord, are you listening to it?
Yeah.
So you heard the announcers. They were so wanting Tennessee to come back. They were like, nobody's ever come back from 10 down before, but they did come back from 8 down, so it's possible.
I saw that. I was like, it's not 10, you idiot. Yeah. Hey, it's because they have the pitcher of the year.
Oh, of course.
You know that, right?
The SEC player of the year, but that pitcher.
I just commented on Twitter. I was like, you damn right he's the pitcher of the year for us. I love that guy.
He's our
good job, Doyle.
Favorite. Yeah.
Doyle rules. That's what Doyle for your button.
If you haven't heard yet, Doyle for Tennessee did get Pitcher of the Year according to Perfect Game USA.
Nice.
One Perfect Game All-American from Arkansas that I saw, and that was Vahiva Aloy. I did not see another Razorback on that list. The font is really weird looking, but it's really small and hard to look at. But only one on Perfect Game. This is the same site that like refused to put Arkansas in the top 8, top 10 for weeks. Now, there were a couple of weeks there where that was okay. We get it. Arkansas was struggling. They were dropping series. They got run ruled by LSU in a game. Speaking of, we're going to talk about them here in a minute, but like they just did not want to put Arkansas in the top 10 until they finally had to. And it's funny because like the only two teams that were, I don't want to say of the highest of hype, but like Texas A&M, who I think everybody had at least top 3 in the country, doesn't even make postseason play. And Arkansas is the highest seeded team left. So in your face, Perfect Game.
Yeah, trash.
Also, Arkansas is the odds-on favorite. I don't know if you checked the odds, but we are the odds-on favorite.
Yep.
Over LSU.
Yeah, per on 3.
Per on 3.
That.
Yeah.
I don't have it in front of me, but I did. I'm just gonna go to our group chat because I send all the good info I find to our group chat.
Well, it's pretty funny that that everything that Arkansas went through this year and how fans were just jumping off the bandwagon, and it's like you look back on the year and it was actually, other than dropping some series you felt like you should have won. I mean, LSU, you felt like you had an opportunity to win that series. But everyone was jumping off the bandwagon. It's like, oh, wait, now they're the highest seeded team that's available or that's left, and they are the odds-on favorite, which kind of goes hand in hand.
Murray State is plus 4,000 on this. That's wow. We're plus 195. LSU right behind us with plus 240.
Hogball Burner says we'll play Oregon State again and win.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
that's what I want, dude. They're plus 650 behind Coastal right now currently. But, dude, I hope so.
I saw that, and I was a little surprised Coastal wasn't a little higher. If it was the same one that I was looking at earlier, and maybe it was the one that you shared in our group chat.
I put it in the chat here.
Oh, did you?
Did you hear what Coastal's coach said the other day? He's like, we ain't no Cinderella. We won 32 games in a row. Or like the last 32 they play. He is so serious, dude.
You're Cinderella, bro. Just deal with it.
Yeah, you're Cinderella. Sit down. No, actually, Murray State Cinderella probably.
Yeah, I guess Murray State would be the Cinderella. Yeah.
I'd root for them in every game against us. I'd be like, let's go.
B Hall says, so are we the favorite to win? At the moment, yeah. That is the case. Mitch says we aren't losing.
Let's go. Let's go.
So getting back to Tennessee really quick. Yeah, I was with you guys. I didn't think they would sweep. I didn't think it'd be 2-0. I thought it would be 2-1 Arkansas.
Yep. I did too. I thought we were gonna lose the second game.
I didn't know what to expect from Zach Root. Wasn't really sure. And then he goes 7 innings, gives up just 1 earned run, 1 hit, faced 22. I think it was 22 batters or 24 with 92 total pitches. Zach Root and Gackle were great. Well, Gackle wasn't great. Gackle was pretty solid. But Root was fantastic, and that's really what kind of started that whole thing. Was the fact that guy went as long as he did. He went 7 innings, and no pressure at all. And of course, the bats did what the bats needed to do. They got the win.
And that guy really does not like Tennessee. Something about them. He does not like them.
Yeah,
he was ready. It
was pretty funny, man. It was pretty great. And a lot of Tennessee fans were really butthurt about how mouthy Arkansas pitchers were. And it's like, yeah, but the difference between Arkansas and Tennessee, because they're screaming hypocrisy, right? Tennessee fans are screaming hypocrisy. But the difference is we're not known for that for a reason. Arkansas just doesn't typically, those aren't their antics. That's not something Arkansas typically does. And they were feeling it. And this is what I said before. I said it last week. This is a real rivalry. And tempers are gonna, it's gonna get hot. And that's exactly what happened inside Baum Stadium, along with the temperature. I can't imagine how hot it actually was down on the field. I know it was up to like high 80s, I think in game 2. But the Tippers were flaring, man, and they were feeling it. It was a big series between two teams that are legit rivals in Arkansas. I mean, belt to ass, man. They took care of business.
Yeah, they did.
They were feeling it. But again, this all started, in my opinion, because of just simply because of the pitching. How deep your starting pitching was actually able to go. You didn't have to rely too heavily on middle relief. And I hope to see more of that. Vitella was on, again, this is a trigger warning for some people because they for whatever reason, they have an absolute hatred of Chuck and Bo. But Vitello was on Chuck and Bo this morning, and they asked him how he felt about Arkansas heading into LSU. And I mean, of course, as always, he gives Dave plenty of respect. He gives the Razorbacks plenty of respect. But he's like, I think, you never know because it's postseason ball. And again, I'm kind of paraphrasing here. This isn't obviously exact quotes. But he's like, Arkansas's got the bats and they've got more arms. And I think this is why, not just because they're the highest seeded team left, this is why everyone likes them to go the furthest and to win the whole thing. They have too much power at the plate, too many guys that can hit, and you've got a bullpen that can go for a while and probably deeper. When you combine those two, they're deeper than everybody else. Quality depth matters, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something interesting on Best of Arkansas Sports earlier, posting it in the chat here. But it said his velocity. He had hit 96 miles per hour just 23 times in his career and gone over 97 once. And then against Tennessee, 16 times over 96 and 4 pitches over 97 in the
angry.
Yeah.
So he really came on. I mean, you can't expect a guy to have a career stat in a single game like that, but he did.
Yeah.
So, pretty awesome.
Great. It was great. And, and they did it without anybody really just going off. Like, it wasn't like talking about Arkansas's offense. It's not like one or two hitters just complete, like they're 4 for 4 at the plate and they're running in like 5-6 RBIs, right? Like it was just like a team effort at the plate. And there's only like one guy. I'll be real. There's one hitter for Arkansas that does kind of make me a little bit nervous. Justin Thomas. If there are runners on, if there are runners on base, let's say on first and second, I feel like it feels like an automatic out. Outside of that, I like anyone can hit. And when there's nobody on or maybe one man on, I feel a little bit better for Justin Thomas. I don't know. I've seen that dude hit into at least 2 double plays. Not like that's a ton if you're talking about the whole year. He's kind of struggled when they've got guys on, as far as I could tell. Maybe I've missed a few at bats. Someone mentioned he had a grand slam. I vaguely remember that. But either way, that's like one time. Most of the time, it feels like if they've got bases loaded or if there's 2 guys on, and I hope to God he proves me wrong. And I'm kind of saying this so that'll happen because that's generally what happens. When I say something here, the opposite happens the next game, the following game. So I'm trying to give that negative energy.
He's in the grand slam next time, dude. Good job.
We do I'm telling you, it works. We call it the negative spirit bomb in Discord. We used to do this all the time. It would be the spirit bomb, for any nerds that watched DBZ back in the late 90s when it was on Adult Swim. Goku does this like spirit bomb thing. So we would spam that in Discord and it would just be like, all right, we're just going to get all the negativity out right now because it's going to work. And sure enough, it would work, dude. So that's what I'm doing right here.
Arkansas fans have so much trauma that we do the dumbest shit. So we win, dude. I haven't worn a Razorback shirt in like 6 months, dude.
I wore my Travis special right here.
Yeah, those are the best shirts we ever made, bro.
There you go.
I still got mine somewhere in my closet.
Well, that's probably one of the dumbest things we've ever done in that Discord.
Look what John Hawes did half the season. F. Nate Thompson every.
But to be fair, hold on. While that is great and that shows that it does work, that John really didn't mean that in the beginning because he hated Nate Thompson.
And he just kept it up.
He just kept it going, and then it what do you know? It blossomed. And I said that in the Discord live. I said it's so funny that you guys hated on him so much on Nate Thompson, and then they turn around and have the greatest offensive season possibly ever in Razorback baseball history.
Haven't they broken the run record now?
I think so. They broke their single season home run record.
for sure on that one.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just baseball. Not only is it a highly analytical sport, and there's all these numbers when you're talking about on base percentage, we're talking ERA, batting average, all this stuff. All that just goes to the wayside when it comes to this whole cursed stuff. It's like, yeah, no, that's all valid.
Yeah.
But then there's this curse over here. It's like, wait, what? Are you being for real, man? Like, is that something we should really look out for? And sure enough, listen, I tried explaining that whole spirit bomb thing to an older family member of mine, and he had no clue what the hell I was talking about.
He's sitting there, he's like this.
He had no clue what I was talking about, and I was trying to explain to him, like, look, it's this show. When I was a kid in the 90s, Dragon Ball Z would come on Adult Swim after football practice. So I'd come home and I was obsessed with Goku and Dragon Ball Z. It was so great. And they had this spirit bomb thing. Now we do with using GIFs. Of course, he has no idea what the hell that is. We use these GIFs with the spirit bomb, and we use it like pessimistic spirit bomb, like using all this negative energy, and it works.
I'm so in on the next one.
We didn't do it this year as much. We didn't do it near as much because the two people that really kept it going kind of got sidelined in Discord and they weren't as active. But we need to get that going. We need to bring it back. We do.
I'm a Dragon Ball Z nerd myself.
So speaking of the pitcher of the year, Liam Doyle, never forget on May 16th when Arkansas played them in the regular season, this dude gave up in 4.2 innings pitched, 11 hits, 8 runs, 6 of which were earned.
He's my favorite.
And then game 2 in the Supers, what is it? 3.2 innings. He doesn't even go. He doesn't go the full 4. He gives up 5 hits, 5 earned runs this year alone. So,
beautiful.
Congrats to pitcher of the year, Liam Doyle. We will miss you, sir. Here,
I got to tell his grandkids about Arkansas, dude. We was going in there, they kicked our ass every time.
I've been looking for you to make a podcast.
Yeah, I have too. I don't know what you call this, but I thought you were going to make a podcast.
I don't call this a podcast.
He does call it a live show.
I just call it a live show. It's not a podcast. Podcast to me is something you could pull up on Apple or
I know a guy.
The Rogan.
You could put this on Apple and Spotify when you're done with the live show.
I just don't. I just like for everyone to come here, one place. We are going to dominate LSU, says No Name Matt. LSU, that is.
Who?
Ty, look at your camera. Look at the screen.
What?
Don't do that.
Gillis. All right, Shane Gillis.
Don't do that.
By the way, Tire season 2 is fire. If you guys aren't watching that on Netflix, you need to. You got to have a great sense of humor, though. Make sure you guys like, share, and hit the subscribe button. We do appreciate everyone for being here. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. This man right here on the screen, that's his company. They offer same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best results, thousands of 5-star reviews. Give them a call at 501-244-3667, and their link is provided for you down below, and they even got their own Discord page as well in the Tusk Talk Discord.
He likes my sponsorship so much he covers it up with comments.
Oh, yeah. I asked you.
I guess I'm going to have to move it up. I actually was wondering if we can make this move. I was thinking about it. The background. Can we put a video as the background? Yes,
I don't know. I'm
sure.
I'm sure StreamYard will want me to pay more.
Probably. Capitalist, baby.
That's right. I think I'm happy.
If you want a moving background, join Patreon.
Yeah.
Bro, I had to give Phil Moore more money. Because, they give you credits for helping you with their AI chop up stuff. You got to give a certain amount of credits. I'm giving them more of my money, and it's just nickel and diming me to death. I think I'm happier to see Murray in there than I would be to see Kentucky.
Same.
Spoken like a true one sport only program, I guess.
Oh no, that's the Kentucky guy. Yeah.
Yes, Peanut Butter Posse.
I didn't realize.
Come on. You should want all your programs to do well. Get to
what else he's happy seeing? He's happy seeing Arkansas once next year in basketball.
That's it.
We're gonna get to that in a minute. Yeah, we're getting to that here in just a second. That's
that was a beautiful segue.
Well, it would be if we didn't still have LSU.
Shit on it. I'm just gonna shit on your segue.
Killed it.
So Arkansas rematch with LSU. I don't know how to feel about it, guys. I really don't.
I'm nervous.
This is not the matchup you want in the first, like right when you get there. This just, I don't know. The good thing is it is double elimination, right? And then if you go far enough and you can make it into the championship series, it starts over. And we'll have Tim kind of go over that here in just a second. LSU finishes 48-15 overall, 19-11 in conference play. They ended the season with that might be postseason included. I'm not sure. A win streak of 3. They were 35-6 at home. However, away from home, they were 8-8. Neutral field, they were 5-1. And that's the part that might make you a little bit nervous. They did pretty well away from their field on a neutral field, which is what you're going to deal with in Omaha. They were again 5-1.
I think War Machine nailed it. He said, "To be the man, you got to beat the man."
That's true. That's fair enough.
The one damn thing they will say if Arkansas does happen to make it and win it all is that we didn't get lucky and it wasn't the easy path.
That's true. As if playing in the SEC was
an easy path to begin with.
You know, sometimes you can luck out and like a Euler will beat an LSU or which almost happened. So don't forget about that either. That was on a neutral field too.
Hey, War Machine, we got to get you on here, man. He already said he would. We're going to get you in here, and it would be great if you retweeted this live on Twitter. That would be fantastic. Logan Muir says the winner of Arkansas and LSU in game 1 will be the overwhelming favorite to win the whole thing.
That's reasonable. They're 1-2 in the odds to win it all anyway, and it's pretty close. I think Arkansas is plus 150 and LSU maybe plus 250 or 200.
No, it's
I'm close. Now I got to go back to the group chat because I just lied to everybody.
Here it is. LSU team. LSU's plus 240.
240. And Arkansas
we're 195.
195.
Okay. LSU's had a little bit of a bumpy road, losing at least one game. They lost to none other than Little Rock on what's the date? I don't know. Oh, it's June 1st on that one. So that was their regional, but they did their first 2 games combined, they scored nearly 20 runs against Little Rock and Dallas Baptist. I thought their regional was a joke. I really thought it was a joke. I was actually kind of surprised they even lost a single game. Then they got matched up with West Virginia, which was also a joke. I'm sorry.
Stomped them.
Yeah, I mean, beat the hell out of them. Scored nearly 30 runs in the 2 games combined, but they did give up 14 total runs. LSU's kind of like they don't do any one thing well or great, you know, like what Arkansas does if you want to talk about like in all their offensive categories and some of their team ERA stats, but they are like a pretty damn solid pro. I mean, there's no doubt, right? It's LSU it's the Tigers. They're damn good.
Yeah.
We know this. But I thought they would sweep their way all the way to Omaha, and they didn't do that. So that and I did get a chance to watch them play a little bit. I watched them lose their game, or I watched the highlights. It is just going to depend on, man, first off, like who's pitching game 1? Who's pitching that game?
And how do they do?
Right.
And they go, what we've seen, whether it's Wood or Root, or if he makes a crazy, which, you know, Dave Van Horn has already done that once in postseason play where he makes a crazy starting pitch. Boy, this beer just keeps trying to come up. But where you make maybe a crazy change with your starting pitcher, you know, it's probably going to be business as usual. And if that starting pitcher can continue to do what Arkansas pitchers have done in postseason play so far, go 5 clean innings or more, you like your odds. You like your odds throughout the rest of
Does LSU have any stud pitchers that we need to know about? Because I've only watched them against Euler and just rooted for him to lose.
So for anyone that's in our Discord, we have the baseball scouting report, and they're pitching. If you look at someone like Kasan, I think it's Kason Evans or Kasan Evans, the junior pitcher. No, he's a freshman. My bad. I'm looking at the wrong. But he's pitched 47 innings, and he's got a 1.90 ERA, which is insane. I don't know the availability on all these guys, so keep that in mind. He's just given up 10 earned runs all year. He's only walked 19 batters, and he's got 65 strikeouts. But the guy that I think everyone looks at is Anthony Ianson. He's the junior. He's the guy that's a sub-3 ERA. He's 2.74. He's 11-2 on the year, and he's pitched 98 innings. and he's given up just 77 hits, 33 runs, 30 earned, 35 walks, 142 total strikeouts. Cade Anderson is another one. I think he's a bit of a mix for them this year, but he's got a fabulous record, 10-1 win-loss on the year, and really wish I could highlight here. He's got 163 total strikeouts. So that's the most on their coming out of their just for their bullpen. So yeah, they've got some arms. They definitely have 4 or 5 guys that are definitely worthy of that could give you some trouble for sure and more.
Yeah, I mean, they got a good enough record for sure.
Yeah, you don't get that record without doing some damage. They are against top 25 according to D1. They're 14-11 on the year, which is not great but not terrible either. Again, you got to consider they're in the SEC, tough road games. And then the 26-50 record is really good. They're 10-1 in that category. They ended up with the 11th overall RPI. Their non-conference RPI was really good at 22, and LSU strength of schedule, surprisingly, almost out of the top 50. They ended up at 47th, while their non-con SOS was 203. So LSU, you worry about the matchup a little bit, just because they, as far as again depth, talent, who they have over there, coaching. Like this is it's LSU. So I don't know. I want to ask you guys first. Who do you like in this game 1 matchup in Omaha between Arkansas and LSU?
I still like the Hogs, man. I think we do have deeper pitching and better bats, obviously. Does it concern me? Yeah, absolutely. LSU is always a problem, it seems like, for us in pretty much every sport, but specifically in baseball, they're pretty stout too, man. I think we're looking at 1-2 here in the whole thing. If they were to reseed it today, obviously we'd be 1-2, so I will say I was nervous about the Tennessee game, both of them. So this is a good sign for me. I'm good to come in. I'm fine coming in nervous, but I think the Razorbacks are going to get them.
Tim, what do you think?
Yeah, I think when you look at the games that we played against them at the end of the season, we owe them. And I think we went to Baton Rouge. And that probably made some difference. I think we take them probably twice. In fact, I'm not sure if we beat them that they come out of the loser bracket. Maybe they don't recover from it. I know that I'm not saying they're not a good team, but kind of the way that we beat Tennessee the first game and then we mauled Tennessee the second game, like they didn't show up. I think maybe LSU doesn't show up for their second game. I know people are going to call me stupid in the chat, but
I actually was thinking the exact same thing.
So what you're taking Arkansas in game 1 though?
Taking Arkansas in game 1 and not sure LSU comes out of the loser bracket.
Yeah, okay. I think it depends on who they play against, but it could kill their confidence bad enough that they're just like, screw it. Yeah. I don't know if they will, being that we're obviously talking about College World Series here, but it could, or they could burn up a lot of arms against us. There's a lot of bad things that could happen from either side, but I think our pitching is deeper than theirs is all day long. So even if we start burning arms, they're going to run out before we do.
Yeah. So Jay Johnson, he's there. It's his 4th year at LSU. He's made some trips to Omaha. He's got some guys on that roster that have been there. You worry a little bit about experience in that environment for sure. It's a different ballpark too. So that's something you have to keep into consideration. Arkansas obviously likes to bat with some power, and I think they can do a little bit of all of it. They're not they don't lay down a lot of bunts. You don't see a lot of sack bunts, but like they could kind of do a little bit of everything when they've needed to bunt. They've done a pretty good job, depending on the circumstances. But I'm going to take Arkansas, but I think this will be a fight, and it's probably going to be one that comes down to might just be a single run lead going into the 9th. So it's an interesting game. I want to say this too really quick. John Haas had a really good tweet, and I want to give him credit. I want to give credit where credit's due. He talked about reseeding when they get to Omaha.
They should reseed when they get to Omaha.
Why they don't, is beyond me. By the way, I appreciate John for the retweets. John tweeted this 6 hours ago. The NCAA baseball tournament should reseed when you get to Omaha. Absolutely no reason a game like Arkansas versus LSU should be a first-round matchup. This game is going to be electric.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense why they don't reseed it. It's a different venue. It's a different. I mean, it's a set of teams from different super regionals around the country coming to one place. You should treat it like a whole new tournament.
Yeah,
you should reseed that thing.
I agree.
I think my other thing about them is they don't have a Paul Skeens this year. You know what I mean?
No,
like a guy that we're like, oh crap. They don't have one of those.
I mean, they've got good arms. They're a really talented team. It's a typical LSU roster. Yeah, but Paul Skeens kind of sets you over the top, right?
Yeah.
In the way that I think Vahiva Aloy can be as a guy at the plate, as a hitter.
I'm waiting for him to tune back in a little bit too, man.
Yeah, he didn't have the postseason so far. Not that he had a bad postseason, but I think what was it at one point against was it Tennessee or Creighton that he was like 0 for 5 at the plate or 0 for 6.
I felt like he may be due for something big. So
hopefully this is it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of do or die, man. It's the end.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. Not if Vahiva doesn't turn it on. I mean, they've got other bats.
Well, I just mean that we're toward the end of the season. It's okay.
Hi, Travis.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna figure out what's up with that, but
so if Arkansas get this part of it out of the way, Tim. Arkansas, let's say they advance past LSU. Okay. Then they play the winner between UCLA
and Murray State. I in our private chat, I put a link to the bracket so people can see the bracket. It's pretty easy to understand once you can see the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? We're gonna do the scenario as Arkansas wins out and doesn't lose. If Arkansas wins against LSU, they play the winner of UCLA Murray State. The loser of UCLA Murray State would play LSU. Then if Arkansas, we're going to say UCLA won and Murray State lost. It seems like from the odds, that's probably what's going to happen. So the next game would be Arkansas UCLA, and LSU and Murray State would play, and the loser of Arkansas UCLA would play the winner of LSU Murray State. So we're going to say LSU again, odds on favorite against a Murray State would win. So UCLA would play LSU and Arkansas would play the winner of that game. And if they beat us, we would turn around and play them again because you have to lose twice. That would put us as the bracket 2 winner.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Then we would go back to a 3-game series against the bracket 1 winner and hopefully win our national championship right there. Looks like maybe against Oregon State or Coastal Carolina.
Here's the so this is kind of this is the best you can get right now on NCAA on their actual website, but those are your matchups right there. Bracket 2, bracket 1. Tim laid it out perfectly. So this kind of help you get a visual if you haven't seen it already. But yeah, I
gave you a different bracket that I feel like makes it easier to understand.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's
I got my camera situated. My poor camera's been traveling a lot lately, so it's dead. It's all good. I just fired up the laptop camera. No worries.
Let me answer this question really quick. Logan Maxwell is another great. Logan Maxwell has been him. There's no doubt. Logan Maxwell has been fantastic. He's batting 360. He's got a 360 batting average. He's getting on base better than anybody outside of maybe I think him and Davalon both really high on the OBP. They're Maxwell, Davalon, Vahiva, Kojal. When those 4 guys get hot, if they get hot in a single game or series, bro, it's over. Like I don't know what to tell you. With combined with Arkansas's pitching, Maxwell, Davalon, Vahiva, Aloy, Kojal, and then you still got the other Aloy brother, right? Ryder Helfrich, who's been fantastic at framing these pitches, and he's been really solid at the plate. Brent Iredell has shown that he could do something. I mean, they've just got so many freaking bats in that lineup. It's so fun to watch. And Reese Robinette, who's gone cold, but he's still batting like 276. He's still getting on base, pretty well. He's doing a pretty good job of getting on base. So this is the deepest. People are asking about like the best leadoff hitter, and I don't know to compare to other. I mean, Dave Van Horn's been here forever. I mean, since like a year after I graduated high school, this guy's been the head coach for Arkansas baseball. So I couldn't answer that question about the best leadoff hitter, but I will tell you, offensively combined with the pitching, this is, and we've mentioned it before, it's his best chance to win it all. And I'm going to make a bold prediction right here. I am picking Arkansas to win the whole thing. Knock on wood.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
I think they're going to win the whole thing. I do. And I realize, like, LSU you can't overlook. I agree. But
I was about to ask you, do you think you have to beat LSU twice to win the whole thing?
I don't know. It hasn't been a smooth postseason run for them, although it's just one loss. But Little Rock gave them some challenges. And
Little Rock gave them hell for a little bit.
Really did. It looked like they could possibly. I mean, they looked like LSU might get eliminated for a very short period of time. I just it's more about what Arkansas does. And he's had some really good teams, get some wins in Omaha. This team is better than those teams. To me, it's may not even be that close. They don't have to rely on a single pitcher, right? They don't have to rely on just one guy. It's like they've got, or even in some of their better years, they've got three reliable, mostly reliable starters. And they've got a pure ace on Friday night who's pitching 6 innings every Friday night. They haven't had that all year. And now they're starting to get there. And now they're getting healthier. Now these guys are getting in rhythm together. I think Arkansas is going to win this whole thing. I just think again, when you get to Omaha, it's a whole new ball game. I get that. And that stadium has been challenging for Dave Van Horn coach teams. But I just think they've been able to hit their way out of problems most of the year. They're explosive. They can play small ball when they want to. They've got the combination there. They've got all these different varieties of arms coming out of the bullpen, right? Yeah, I just think this is the year. I really do. I think this is it. They're going to win the whole thing.
Where you at?
Tim, no argument here. No argument here. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm not sure they lose. I don't think they lose at all.
They got the guys for it. They got the dudes. That's
so
for damn sure.
DVH is going to get his ring this year. I think so, man. I think
he feels it. He can feel it, dude. Did you see how emotional he got in that press conference the other day?
I did, yeah.
He knows it's coming, bro. Like they're right there, dude. Not that he just knows, like obviously, like it's gonna happen, but I think he feels that this team may be the one.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they get through clean. They might drop a game.
They might,
I don't think so.
Maybe, but it would be just
that's kind of luck of the draw and who beats who, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah,
I think LSU is going to be our toughest test left. Probably.
Well, as far as like talent, right? Like, yeah, you're looking at LSU for sure. I agree.
Maybe on paper, I guess is
on
the way
paper,
I should have said
yeah,
that.
that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, just on paper. But yeah, I mean, and my dad, I can already hear my dad like, well, once you get to Omaha, Ty, it's a whole new ball game.
Anybody can beat anybody on any given Sunday.
That's right.
I'll tell you what now. It's King of the Hill. Some Hank Hill. Jimenez. Oh, well, I made it disappear. Jimenez is going to be a redeemer, Oregon State transfer. Who was on that state team that beat us?
Interesting.
Only to join us and be. Wait, he wasn't.
I don't know if he's on the team that beat us, but
no, I don't think he was on the team that beat Arkansas.
He's definitely an Oregon State transfer, though.
Yeah,
that would be interesting to go back against your old team and then beat him.
It would be quite lovely, wouldn't it?
And if he can't do it, they'll pull somebody and put somebody in until we do. In my opinion.
We can't overlook what they can do at the plate. They definitely got some hitters. Talking about LSU, what a matchup right out the gate, man, right out the gate. So, all right, let's get into a little bit of football recruiting, shall we? Arkansas had a couple of commits, an unranked Bentonville wide receiver, 6'1", 175, Blair Irvin III. He committed on June 9th. And then they got Daylen Green, who I am really big on. This is a guy that could play multiple positions. They like him at linebacker or safety. His weight, his size is all over the place. I've had someone tell me he's closer to 6'3", like 210, and I think Rivals has him at like 6'2", 200.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, from looking at pictures of that dude for graphics, that dude's ripped.
Have you seen his videos?
Looking at his videos, man, he has a nose for the ball. He gets to the ball quick.
And he's physical. He hits with force.
Yeah.
Daylen Green's a good pickup. I know people make the
third
joke.
Green on the team now.
Yeah.
Daylen Green, AJ Green. Yeah.
Well,
Daylen,
by the time he gets on roster, he'll be the only Green. But
that's fair.
Yeah, because both the other Greens will likely be gone.
Added more to 26, huh?
Yeah.
It's a lot of players in that class.
Well, there's more coming. Yeah, I mean, they're going to break 25. I don't know how they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Well, isn't the rule changing? Maybe he's stacking because the rule's changing.
It could be that.
105 scholarships.
Listen, I've asked around, like, what is the number of high school recruits they're taking this class? I'm not getting an answer. No one knows.
If they know. I don't know if they know yet because
no one wants to say that. Yeah, they don't know.
It's an NCAA. It's either a lawsuit or a rule change, one of the two. But I know they're looking forward. They're looking at it going to 105 instead of 85. So that's 20 extra.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would make sense, especially if they've gotten word that that's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
If not, he's going to piss a bunch of kids off. Well, just start ripping scholarships, dude. Yeah. Sorry, man, the rule didn't change.
Yeah. You hope it's not something like that where they don't know surely if you're going to bring that many in, because that's 19 total commitments, dude. I don't ever recall a June being this heavy already. Yeah. Having this many commitments. Maybe I'm off my rocker and I'm forgetting, these recruiting years kind of blend in together.
Mr. Wayne.
But 19 is a lot for June, for a typical year for Arkansas recruiting. But he does typically, he's kind of pushed his recruiting around a little bit as far as when he wants them to commit. June has typically been a pretty heavy month. I can tell you, and I've already told Patreon supporters, be on the lookout. They are on commit watch for some more prospects. About as much as I'll say here. I'll continue the rest of Patreon, but there's a good chance here you're going to get a couple of guys that you're going to like, and whether or not they stay. I get that that's the gripe. Well, these guys aren't going to stay. What does it matter? I'm telling you, I really think that narrative might change to some degree in the coming years because of the rule changes. And now you could pay, what is it, up to $20 million per athletic department on the revenue sharing front of things. It's going to make keeping these guys around a little bit easier. Yeah, NIL stuff is still out there, but it sounds like they're pretty confident that you're not going to have the mass exodus that you once had at Arkansas. Sam has always struggled with that. They have, so again, June 9th, they ended up picking up the 2 commitments. As far as Blair Irvin's concerned, I was kind of hoping, you're talking about a 6'4", 6'5", 210-pound receiver that you're picking up out of Bentonville. I don't know a whole lot about him. I'm going to be real. I had one person tell me I need to go watch him play, but I hear that a lot with NWA kids. I'm not saying he's not good. He is unranked. I don't know if that's everywhere. I know on Rivals he's unranked, but apparently some people think pretty highly of him. I mean, he's got a teammate a former teammate that's already on the roster, and CJ Brown. So I'm sure that had a lot to do with his commitment.
Well, that and just being Razorbacks. I mean, Bentonville's 30 minutes away and pretty easy to get a hometown boy. Bentonville's one of the biggest high schools around. So what are they, 7A? What are they, Tim?
Yeah, they're 7A.
Yeah, I mean, they're up there.
He has his other offers are Minnesota, Kansas State, Arkansas State, and UCA, according to Rivals.
I'll tell you, somebody who's been dipping into Bentonville is Minnesota's into Bentonville and Fayetteville. Minnesota's coach, I forget his name, but
Fry.
Yeah, he comes to Bentonville games a lot. He snagged a quarterback last year. I think he took Fayetteville's quarterback last year. He's either Fayetteville or Bentonville's quarterback.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so he definitely keeps an eye on it.
Yeah. Yeah, they've dipped in here a little bit. They've got some connections down here to NWA. It's not Fry. It's PJ
Fleck. That's
Fleck. I don't know why I was thinking Fry. Yeah, PJ Fleck. Who's
you had me questioning if I was talking about the right team or not. I was like,
he's in his 9th
Drake
year.
Lindsay, that's who they got. Yep.
Drake Lindsay, yeah. Yeah, one of the Lindsay kids. I don't think he ever got an Arkansas offer, if I remember right. I don't think they ever actually pursued him. And then there's always these offers they'll throw out that are like, hey, yeah, here's an offer, but we're not taking any commitments yet. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that he even got one of those. He may have been asked to walk on. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on any of that. But Yeah,
he probably did.
There's more recruiting to go around. Ben Mobinga. This kid's a hoss, 6'5", 285 pounds, outstanding offensive lineman. He was, I'll say this, Georgia Tech heavily involved in his recruiting. It's down, and I already relayed some information in the Discord and Patreon about this, but I'll say this: Arkansas definitely made some moves with his visit, but they like him a lot. He's gaining a lot of attention from some other schools, but it's Ben Mubinga. I might be messing his name all up, but yeah, be another good get if they can get him to commit to Arkansas. And they're also currently trying to flip another kid, JJ Hill, 6 foot, 220 pound player. So I'll have more information on him and some others. I'm either going to release a video or maybe just chat it up in the Patreon chat and Discord, but we'll have some more information on some more of these recruits. But I will say this, June, just keep an eye out. There's going to be some more commitments possibly. I will tell you too, because of the NIL era, you never know. You could be told like, oh yeah, no, he's going to commit like tomorrow, and then something dramatically changes the morning of, and all of a sudden the information changes, and it turns out that maybe this player's going elsewhere. They're going to visit elsewhere. So just be mindful of that. Not all the recruiting information
NLIs mean nothing.
Once was. Yeah,
we don't really got them until we get that financial aid going. That's when we got them.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got Drake Lindsay. Yep. What's our recruiting?
That was the case for Daylen Green. If you actually looked at, I think it was 24/7, had him 100% crystal ball to Florida State.
Yeah.
So
money talks, baby. Sammy been having them secret meetings at an undisclosed location that I texted.
I don't know about any of that. That is not on the record. That is not on the record. I don't know if anything like that happened. It could always be that someone pulls out too. Like, I mean, that happens.
Photos.
That happens a lot.
Do you hear me?
No.
Said I have photos. It's happening.
Hey, what do you guys think of Arkansas just playing Kentucky in one stupid game in basketball next year?
I don't understand the big deal.
I wonder if they're trying to pump the ratings toward just that game.
No, what's the big deal? That's the way it has always been until this year.
Because it should be 2 games.
Why?
Because this is
never been 2 games until.
I don't care about what's never been. I don't care about that. You got Cal, who was at Kentucky. That's a hell of a storyline. It feeds into the rivalry. No, it should be 2 games.
I think it should go, 1 for 1.
I just told you why. It's 2.
That doesn't make any. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. We don't make our scheduling decisions based on he used to coach over there.
They do, though.
That's not why they make the scheduling decisions they make.
So then why do they make
the actual logic behind their scheduling decision?
The SEC's logic behind theirs is ratings. So wouldn't it make logical sense to have it twice?
Right?
No
shit. But Mizzou playing Mizzou twice a year.
That's not how they do it either.
Playing Mizzou twice a year makes all the sense in the world, though.
Yes. I mean,
explain that, Tim.
From your logic, it does.
I mean,
your logic, it does because they're trying to build up a rivalry between the 2 schools, so they need them to play twice a year.
Okay, is it a rivalry, Tim?
No, I don't think it is, but the SEC thinks it is, so they've got to build up a rivalry there.
There we go.
That's your logic.
No, my logic. Okay,
that's your logic. We think we can build a rivalry here. Let's make it 2 times a year.
You don't have to build a rivalry between Arkansas and Kentucky. It's already a storyline, my friend.
I know.
It's already a storyline.
You asked about Missouri.
I'm asking you if it's a rivalry or not, and you even said it's not.
No, but what I said is from your logic. Your logic is they should make Kentucky 2 times a year because that's the ratings thing. The SEC, using your logic, is going.
You can say my logic all you want. That is
what we really want. What the SEC is saying is what we really want is a rivalry between Arkansas and Missouri. So we're going to manufacture one by forcing them to play twice a year.
And it's not.
They don't have to manufacture a rivalry for Arkansas and Kentucky because it already exists.
It's not worked.
Which is why they should have 2 games because they already.
Why is it? What do you think the ratings? what do you think the ratings were between Arkansas, Missouri, and Arkansas, Kentucky? What do you think? Those
Kentucky was much higher. 100%. Kentucky was much higher.
Okay.
That just proves that you're wrong.
No, it proves that I'm right.
It proves that you're wrong. Because you're saying that they make their decisions based on ratings, but clearly they don't.
I'm saying they
should. Because if they made it based on ratings, they would do it twice a year.
I'm saying they should. Exactly.
Why should they?
Should. Ratings, money, ad revenue. What are you talking about, dude?
What makes it more exciting?
What are you talking about?
No, what makes it more exciting to have it twice a year or no? This year we got you at Arkansas. Next year you've got us at Kentucky.
So you don't think
just like football?
You don't think Arkansas? Let's say they beat them inside Bud Walton Arena. You don't think that game 2 would be a big deal, especially if these two teams are ranked, possibly going to be top 5, top 6 seeding in the NCAA tournament? You don't think that second game wouldn't draw more eyeballs?
And so 5 years from now, when Cal retires,
I'm not talking about 5 years from now. I'm talking about this year.
You can't just change the way you schedule. They have to have some.
They do it all the time. What the hell are you talking about, dude?
What are you talking about? They did it once.
They do it all the time.
No,
you can't play everybody twice. You get a certain amount of teams that they will play twice. You get Texas and Missouri.
You get the West that you played twice and the East that you played once until this year.
Let me ask you this. I don't know why you're up in arms against playing.
I'm not up in arms.
I think you're scared to play them twice a year. But
anyway, why would I be scared to play Kentucky? We beat them.
Settle this. Okay, hold on. Would you rather, Tim, play Mizzou twice a year and be the basketball rivalry, or would you rather that be Kentucky?
Why are you bringing Mizzou into this?
Because that's who they play twice a year, and
they play a lot of schools twice a year. Texas A&M, LSU, Alabama, Auburn.
You don't think Arkansas?
Would I rather play Auburn than Kentucky? You're not asking me that question. You're asking me Mizzou.
Exactly.
Why are you asking me Mizzou?
I'm asking you. Well, Mizzou, it's a rivalry, right? You even said it yourself.
No, I didn't say that.
It's a
I didn't say that
rivalry.
It is a fake rivalry.
You're scared to play Kentucky. It's on.
I'm not. Dude, this is so funny. Like you're getting personal.
You're not making any sense. You're not making any sense.
You're getting so personal about the whole thing, but
I'm really not. You're the one that started getting pissy first.
I'm not.
All I'm saying.
All I asked was why would it make a big deal?
That's the game everybody wants.
That's what they've always done.
That's the game that everybody wants. What are you talking about? That's the game everyone wants, including Kentucky fans and Arkansas fans. They want this game twice a year. That's not some pulling it out of our ass. That's what the people want. That's why.
Boy.
Pretty simple. Using your logic.
No, not my logic. None of this was ever based on me. Literally what I said is this is what the SEC has always done. And you were trying to throw a logic of why it should change. So that's why I say your logic. What I'm telling you is what the SEC's always done.
But they've switched up who you play twice a year all the time. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? They did it this year for the first time. It has always been the same logic every year until this last year when they added Texas and Oklahoma.
Even still, okay, let's say
that's the only reason things changed this year.
Okay, calm down. You're the one screaming here. Calm down. Would you rather play? Would you rather play Kentucky or would you rather play Auburn? Would you rather play Alabama?
Auburn's been pretty damn good.
Who do you think would draw more interest, Tim?
Obviously, Kentucky would for as long as Cal is here, but you can't make your scheduling decisions on who coached where last year. That's stupid.
Boom, right there. Boom. I don't know. You're not going to win this argument, my friend. That's it. Not this time.
I tell you what, when Calipari goes to Idaho, we should play Idaho twice a year in non-conference. We should schedule them twice a year for the sake of the rivalry that everybody wants to see.
Are they in our conference, Tim?
I'm just making fun of what you're saying.
Well, it doesn't make any sense.
I'm just reading comments.
I don't know why we haven't scheduled USC twice this year in non-conference.
I would be awesome to schedule them
in non-conference.
They're not in our conference, Tim.
I just said non-conference. For those listening, headphones, turn them on.
You don't play non-conference opponents twice a year.
We should.
This guy just hates fun. I have to agree. I think so, man. I think he hates
I'm having fun here.
Oh
boy.
No, in basketball, it's always varied. Yep. The SEC doesn't give Arkansas an easy schedule. Why Kentucky is not is why Arkansas is not, or Kentucky's not on the schedule twice.
I'd like an easy football schedule for once.
That doesn't make that doesn't make any sense, right? If you said they don't give Arkansas an easy schedule, that's why Kentucky that wouldn't be an easy schedule, right?
These comments. Yeah, football, you don't get that kind of treatment. Football, they're just going to give you whatever the hell, and they're going to tell you to like it. Including, not only that, you've got Notre Dame coming to town. You got to go to Memphis. You got to go to Memphis for whatever stupid ass reason.
Dude, our football scheduling is horrific.
It is really bad,
and it's done years in advance. And I'm just like, are there those people still here that are scheduling this football mess?
I don't know,
because they should have been fired a long time ago.
Schedule Notre Dame.
It's and that one was in the works for a while. Arkansas Notre Dame was in the works for a while.
I feel like it was
back on this basketball. Who's the big Russian dude we're going after?
Oh yeah. They're going after. Hang on, I just had it. Big Russian dude,
Igor Rizhov.
Yeah,
6'11". Let's see. Didn't do so well. I guess people are kind of complaining about his numbers. I guess he got moved up to their. I don't understand Euro ball at all. I don't get this. I guess maybe it's like soccer over there, where like you play at a high level, and if you suck, you get bounced. But he's kind of been. So he's played for, I guess, 2 different organizations, and the one where he gets called up in the VTB United League, which is a mix of former college players and NBA players. He averaged like 3 points, around 2 boards, in about 8 minutes per game. So people aren't real thrilled about kind of like what he's done, Igor. By the way, he's 21 years old. They're not super thrilled about what he's done at the higher level, but at the lower level, he's performed really well. He's an older player. He's probably your typical Euro, your big guy. Someone had told me that they thought he compared a lot to maybe like a Brazil.
Yeah. He's improving his outside shot, but he's a stretch forward. He's a stretch forward. We're also looking at a guy who's 6'9", who's more of a traditional down low player, Basala Bagayoko, who's more of a pick and roll, hit the boards kind of guy. And to be perfectly honest, it would be fine with me if we got a hit the boards kind of guy versus another very long and lanky Brazil who had a much better end of the season last year, but at the end of the day, we struggled on boards and keeping up with boards with other teams. And it'd be nice to have somebody Draymond Greenish who would go after boards and play defense.
They need a little help behind Brazil too. Mm-hmm. They need help. That's just not a place they're deep at. Igor also shot. He averaged about 1 block a game, and he was 41% shooting from the floor. Not great. And typical for a big guy, he's not great at the free throw line either. 53.4%. I'm assuming if Cal likes him, there's something he sees in him that he likes. Maybe it's a little bit more depth behind Brazil. I don't know. I agree.
I was thinking defensive. Yeah,
it could be a defensive thing. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of notes on him, but I agree. I'd rather them go after someone who can crash the boards a little more, because that was definitely what prevented them from advancing an NCAA tournament last year, for sure. Had they been a little bit better defensively and rebounding and getting more second chance opportunities on offense, I think that team could have been really special. But yeah,
with a little more depth this year, we can really do some damage.
And they've got core players. They've got like everything you want back. I saw where one of the CBS analysts, John Rothstein, who said that he liked Arkansas as maybe the second best team behind Florida.
Yep. I actually screenshotted that or sent it earlier.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I may have screenshotted it and not sent it. I can't remember, but I did see where he was saying that earlier this morning. Oh, yeah. I screenshotted the tweet. Nope. That's a different one. Disregard. But yeah, I think I may have.
No. That was the report on Kentucky and Arkansas playing one game. That's the one that you sent. Yeah. So Rothstein likes Arkansas to be the second best team behind Florida as it stands. I guess adding bodies, great. I don't know if these two guys, if they end up bringing them in, like how much they'll actually contribute, but never say never, right?
I think he's scared to run off too many of these players that they're paying, these bigger name players, and they may just be going, hey, bring in some bodies. You know what I mean?
That's the challenge. that's the challenge when you're putting together a roster and there's so much money involved. It's like, how do you keep everybody happy?
You need some big physical guys to practice against because that's SEC players.
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about losing Boogie to Florida? How that's going to impact our guard play?
Yeah.
So
people complain about Euro stats are overreacting. He's playing former college basketball and NBA guys. Yeah, I mean that's fair.
We're playing grown men, which is what we need.
He is 21 though. Let's not act like this is some 17-year-old pup. This is a 21-year-old man. But you're not wrong. I mean, he could come here and who knows, be great. Celtics for Life says Igor's the perfect guy to put behind deep TB, and that's the way I look at it. I think it would just simply be a physical down low depth piece behind Brazil for sure. Defensive minded rebound machine.
Was he a rebound machine?
Well, I think
I don't remember seeing that.
No. I think he's saying that's what they need.
I guess he did 8.3 rebounds per game. That's better than what we have gotten production wise.
We were talking about Igor, Mitch. He was playing against grown men. Yeah. Again, we're not talking about a 17-year-old pup here. I mean, he is, and that's what I kind of like about him is that he is older, and that's going to bring something to the table, a little bit of experience and some size, even if it wasn't, USA college basketball. By the way, the word on Rattel from scouts is he wouldn't make a Youngstown state team.
Ouch.
Ooh. Okay.
That sucks.
All right.
Future transfer portal.
Guess we'll see.
Yeah, I guess so. Close out the chat and hit the like button, says Justin Williams. There you go. Hit the like button.
We're only at 20. We need to hit 100. Let's go.
Oh, Hogball Burner says he's going to call us in and set y'all straight.
That's what y'all are.
Do it.
Set straight on what?
He wouldn't be a burner no more if he called in. He can't show his face. He had to put on a mask. He's like,
hey guys,
I was going to say he's got the voice changer.
You guys need to calm down with the arguing, okay?
No way, that's what's fun.
He gave him the link.
Yeah, I gave him the link. Call in.
No way he's calling in, bro. He's gonna call in like one of those people who are in a witness relocation program.
Yeah, it's kind of like a silhouette. You always see the black silhouette.
I don't know what happened then, but
yeah, he averaged 20 points per game and just south of 9 rebounds. Damn. Okay, and you're talking about the.
I saw his scoring average is only 15.3, but it was 8.3 rebounds. I'm looking at his stats right now.
Another four. So he sat behind a former Cal player, and Amari Spellman started in a couple of NBA games. Okay. Well, there's the link, Hogball Burner. If you're still in here, if you wanna call in and set us straight.
He's already on Twitter, burning people up, pissing off Kentucky fans.
Oh, you gotta love it.
Nice.
You gotta love it. That's good time spent on Twitter, getting them all mad. I'll tell you who cracked me up are Tennessee fans on Twitter. Like the meltdown they were having, the coping they were having was just so.
Oh, it was rough for them. I made so many fun AI images though.
They weren't all of me.
Yeah, or you. Yeah, I got tired of doing you. I started burning up Tennessee fans. He's like, thank God. Move on.
Between you and Patrick and Mac and everyone.
Pat. Yeah, Pat's the man.
Yeah, Pat, he's got several in his arsenal, man. He's got them loaded in the chamber, ready to go. Yeah, I don't know that we have. I think that's really it. It's kind of our last piece there. Again, Arkansas to play. We didn't mention this part. Arkansas plays on Saturday, not Friday. I thought it would be Friday, but
damn, I got to look at my thing.
I think it's a little bit. Yeah, it's 6.
There is one more thing to mention. I mean, it's not super.
Are you going to talk about the rule thing that we were going to mention, and you looked it up on the AI?
No. I was going to mention the 2 Razorbacks are in Game 3 of the NBA Finals tomorrow at 7:30.
True.
That's true. I don't really have a dog.
Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams playing for the Thunder.
I guess I'll root for the Thunder because of the former Razorbacks. I really just don't care.
I don't care at all, but they are Razorbacks.
Yeah, it's the two smallest market teams, and I've heard the ratings are bad. Like they're not doing well.
This is why the NBA fixes it for the Celtics, the Lakers, the Knicks as much as they can, Miami.
Could be
because they don't want this to happen.
Yeah,
but it's two Razorbacks, so at least feel good for them, I guess.
Yeah. I thought you were going to mention the bit because you looked it up on AI, the rule change, the law that was passed last week.
I've already forgotten it. I'd have to go back and look.
I don't remember either.
It was the ability to pay the players.
Oh, the network, where they can share the network money.
Well, you put all that out in Discord.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of people in here that aren't in Discord. If I could
join the Discord.
Well, join the Discord. You find out all the good stuff.
It's a really good bit though. It talked about like what it could do for Arkansas moving forward. It gives them a little bit more some more opportunities to face.
Basically, it's giving the revenue sharing, the ability to pay the players. It helps a smaller team like Arkansas be able to keep players from jumping as often.
Mm-hmm.
It actually hurts the bigger Alabama type program, Georgia type programs, because it levels the playing field of money for everybody else.
There was some really good stuff in that copy and paste.
If all these schools would get together and go, hey, this is what we're going to max out of the quarterback, like, you know what I mean? Like the collective bargaining situation.
Yeah.
If the
I think it heads that way, Travis.
I hope it does, man. Because now you're fine. Because there's just nothing stopping these bigger ones from going, all right, screw it. I'm going to pay this quarterback $15 million, or $10 million, and the quarterbacks just continually, or all these players just raising their prices and going, this profit, this revenue sharing means nothing.
You saw Travis Hunter at the end of the season told Colorado for $40 million I'd come back.
Yeah, get out of here, dude.
For $40 million I'd come back. I mean, that is where it's going. You're going to get to a point that you can make as much in college as you can in the pros, or they'll have to have a collective bargaining agreement of some kind.
I think basketball may be pushing that already.
Short-term contracts are going to have to.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to come around. I don't know how else you stop this madness. But I found the AI, the search that you pasted.
Oh, nice.
Right now, Razorback football players get a scholarship, possible NIL money. Starting in 2025, the school, of course, a lot of this we already know, but starting in 2025, the school itself will be allowed to directly pay players kind of like a salary. Example, if Arkansas football brings in a ton of money, which it does, the school could spend up to $20 million a year to pay its athletes. Most of that will go to football players because football makes the most money. It's the biggest roster, currently set at 85 on the scholarship side of things. It has the most TV time and fans. And then it says recruiting. Before Arkansas could only promise we have cool facilities, great coaches, a scholarship, you might get some NIL money. Now they could say, come here and we'll pay you directly, help you get your NIL deals and support your future. So, I mean, this is a really well-detailed, this is a good thing that your prompt was on point, apparently, Tim. A prediction, Razorback football is entering a pro-style era where the money starts to match the effort. If Arkansas plays it smart, this could level the playing field, like Tim mentioned earlier, and bring some big wins back to Fayetteville. So, there you go. Obviously, it's a great thing for Arkansas. There are people who really – it's funny. I copy and pasted that, and I sent it to some friends, and they were like, their first response is, I hate football now. I hate college athletics. And I'm like, I don't know what more. We all knew this is where it was headed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, is it envy? Is it you're mad that players are finally getting paid like they should have been the whole time?
I think most people are mad that players are acting like asshats about it.
I understand.
I think partly too, we all know this was going on before this law, right? Yeah. Before the lawsuit, before all of this, and bigger schools with more money were able to get those athletes, whatever athletes they wanted under the table. Now it's all on the table. Now it's all on the table and it's all fair and everybody can participate in it. And I think that's a good thing. You may hate it that everybody's participating, but don't think your team wasn't participating in some way. But maybe Arkansas couldn't participate the same way Alabama could, or Texas could. But now we can, and it's all above board. And so I think I would rather have it all above board and be competitive than have everybody doing shitty shit under the table and wondering why we're not good enough.
Yeah.
It's kind of my take on it.
I think in your AI prompt also said something about recruiting a higher level player. I mean, imagine, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but imagine if all of a sudden you are in the mix for maybe a couple of 5 stars a year. All of a sudden you're in the mix for that top 150 or more top 150 players. And you look down at your recruiting class. And again, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but imagine you look back at your recruiting class and it's like, okay, we finished with the 15th best recruiting class in the country. And that's not even, we're not even talking about the transfer portal yet. Like, it could be a really big, a big deal. However, yes, it's also going to benefit most other teams in the SEC.
I think currently the portal is bigger than anything.
Oh, it's huge. It's become my favorite thing. And a part of me is kind of sad they're losing that second window. But I understand, and it needs to be just one window. But man, it's fun to have those 2 windows.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
It really is. I like looking up all their stats, their analytics, the PFF stuff, and I like talking about it. Like, the transfer portal has become like my favorite thing to keep up with.
Currently, the portal and the coaching carousel are my favorite thing about the game.
The coaching carousel?
Hell yeah. He's just waiting to see Sam go.
I do. It's like, ooh, who are they going to get now? And then it just keeps the carousel spinning, man. You're like, ooh, that team's going to get rid of this coach. Now who are they going to get?
It's not envy. It's the idea of the lack of pro money being involved in college sports is what set it apart from the pros, made it better in a lot of ways. Well, I don't disagree. And I'm on record as saying I prefer, like, the best era of college football in my adult life was the BCS era.
Yep.
And you weren't paying players like they are now. You didn't have the NIL. You didn't have the silly playoffs that have just, I don't know that they've made the game better.
Give a damn if you wanted to win a game.
You had to be loyal to your school, and you didn't hit the portal. You didn't have a portal. That is my favorite era. However, the whole time, they should have been getting paid. There's no doubt about that. The NFL money, it is what it is. I mean, I'm on record. I'm a free market capitalist. I'm all about getting paid for what you do. And I don't think anyone here on this panel or in chat is saying otherwise, but we definitely saw this coming when they opened up the NIL, when they opened it up. It's on the NCAA for not having more control, more mechanisms of control on this. They basically opened up Pandora's box alongside the portal, and it just went to hell.
I think that's what everyone truly hates, is not the fact that anyone makes any money. It's the fact that the athlete, being a young person, has so much power that it's like, this is annoying. You know what I mean? Like, from a fan perspective, obviously the athlete needs to do what's best for them. So shout out to him. But at the same time, as a fan, it's like, nah, I don't care. He leaves. He's going to leave anyway. Whatever. Who cares? You know what I mean?
Let's be fair for a second, though, about this. The money is not necessarily helping the athlete, because if it was, your pro athletes would not be on the street corners now. There are tons of stories of pro athletes who ended up bums, who ended up with nothing, and so the NCAA, for one, should have set in a mechanism that said, okay, we're willing to pay these players, but we're responsible. They're still kids, and we need to teach them financial responsibility on top of it in some way. And I know that pro basketball has kind of implemented something like that with rookies once they're drafted, but I just feel like more could be done than just going, okay, we're going to give you all kinds of money. Having all kinds of money does not guarantee a successful life. Lottery winners out your ears go broke within months of winning the lottery.
They burn through it. Yeah,
they burn through it. People come out of the woodworks wanting the money. These kids are going to have people from wherever coming for their money, because suddenly you're getting $1 million. It doesn't promise that they're going to end up with a good life. And there definitely should be more mechanisms for them.
I know the NFL, they do some kind of like financial like classes or something for the players. I saw a behind the scenes on that. Like they actually get these players in. I don't know if it's voluntary. I'm assuming it is. I don't think it's mandatory, but yeah, they definitely need they need a little more assistance as far as like, hey, don't be stupid with your money. It's your money. Set it in a bank account. Go buy Bitcoin. Well, maybe that's not the best advice, but go do something with it. But don't
it in your mattress.
Stuff it somewhere where it's going to gain interest. It's going to gain money. It's going to help you long term. However, you do get guys with these crazy amounts of money that's like, well, I guess they're going to do whatever they want with it anyways. But yeah. So go ahead.
I believe the story Allen Iverson tells, if I remember it right, and someone in chat can correct me if I don't, but he ended up with a guy who advised him, like, defer your salary for the next 30 years. That way you're always getting you're always getting paid. So he signed a contract and it was a big salary, but he wasn't collecting that salary the way that the normal NBA players were. So he was like, once I got out of the pros, I would be broke today the way I was spending, but he made sure that I had deferred my salary for like 30 years, so I always get an income.
Yeah.
So someone was smart and gave him great advice. I don't know.
Like they also got to watch who they're trusting with their money too. Like D-Mac got screwed out of 20 million. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
And
I remember that. That was in the news.
It was crypto or some type of investment that he had made with somebody. I don't know if it was crypto exactly or some investment in something. Whoever it was hit him for like 20 million and just hit the road.
Damn.
Like, yeah. So you got to watch. That's probably the most important thing is the guidance you got is who you're trusting with this kind of money.
That's exactly it. The guidance and the people around you. You know, you got to make sure that they're in it for your best interest. You know, and for your long term. Yeah, not to just get a paycheck. And that's what these agents. They could be anybody. Sam Pittman talks about that. It could be anybody. It could be a brother, cousin,
uncles, cousins. Yeah,
uncle. Yeah. And how all these different people get involved, and it becomes really challenging. Yeah, money hasn't done college football any favors. Certainly not the programs. The roster turnover is crazy. And again, I am all for bringing that portal window down to 1 10-day window. I'm all for that, but that still won't resolve all the issues. Hopefully, this deal that they have now, where they could pay players. Maybe that'll settle that out from a roster standpoint. Like Tim pointed out, there's other stuff going on in their personal lives that that obviously matters also. But when you're talking about roster construction, that's part of why recruiting doesn't have the same hit that it once did. And I can tell you that just from the years I've been doing this. Releasing a recruiting video or live or whatever used to be a really big deal. Now it's like I don't really care because not me, but the viewer. I don't really care because I don't think that guy's going to be here for a year. He's not going to be here and get developed. Hell, I said it myself when Russell, I didn't think Russell was going to return for year 2, the running back for Arkansas. And it looks like that's going to be the case. Once again, knock on wood. But, it messes up that part of the game for sure. But at the end of the day, these players in their lives are what matter the most. The rest of it's just a sport to us. We're commenting on it and talking about it. Why did Sam Pittman take 7 years to finally get a top 15 offensive lineman in the country? I feel like Arkansas got cheated the past 7 years when he knew he could recruit better than he has. I don't know. First off, it's not been 7 years, Johnny, but unless you're from the future, I don't know.
Maybe he is.
Listen, I'll say it again. He did a good job in the portal, man. I think the left tackle they picked up from Georgia Tech, I think he's going to be special. I really do. I think he's going to be good. At the very least, he's going to be as serviceable as Carmona was. And you've got Carmona, the left guard. Like, I get it. He hasn't recruited at the level that you want him to on the offensive line. He hasn't. For that matter, the line of scrimmage, period. Like, he's not done a very good job of being able to stack talent there, and he's not put together. I mean, it's been too many years since they've had a really solid offensive line, and that would have made all the world in the difference last year. I think had Daylen Green had a little bit more time to throw the ball, had later on in the year when the run game wasn't as stout, had the offensive line been able to open up bigger gaps for these guys to run through, But I don't disagree, Johnny. It's definitely not been his strength as far as when you're looking at it from a building standpoint on the line of scrimmage. It's not been what we thought we would get at the very least when they hired Sam. Remember, we were all saying the same thing. Well, damn, that's going to be a really good offensive line at the very least. I don't know that you've had but maybe a year of that. And so you're not – I don't fully disagree. But
yeah, but some of that was his approach to it. I've said this on this show several times when he was asked, I think it was 2 Decembers ago now, are you going to step in and work with your offensive line coach? And he was like, well, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Well, you should have. You're considered one of the best at developing offensive linemen. If you're not going to step on that guy's toes, what are you doing? Yeah. Why do we need you? But that, I think that's probably the bigger issue. If you're not getting top 15 linemen, at least you should be developing them, right? You should be developing what you've got. And it seems like for years we didn't get development with the players that we got.
Yeah.
So
I think he's mentioning Bryce Gilmore, I think is who he's talking about.
Okay.
Bryce Gilmore's pretty sure he's a unanimous 4-star, big time offers. Yeah, I don't know what his actual ranking is on. He's a 5.8 on Rivals. So I think that's who Johnny's talking about. But yeah, and to be fair, I mean, he's had to step in, or he did this last, year before last, where he actually did step in finally. He was there all spring camp with the offensive line. And if I remember right, fall camp as well. So, I don't know, man. Maybe we'll see more of that, but it really felt like when he had to do that, I guess that was last year. I'm getting the years mixed up when he actually stepped in. I think that was last year, right? When he worked with the offensive line. But it seemed like it worked. They were definitely better than they were the year before. So maybe they're building off of the last 2 years, and we get a complete package up front on the offensive line. I'm just saying, don't throw tomatoes at me just yet, but maybe this is the year they get it all figured out, at least on the offensive line, and then everything else comes along. I don't know. I'll try not to be too optimistic for some of you, but
we gonna see.
I haven't seen a comment yet tonight about leave it to a podcaster, Arkansas podcaster, to be negative. So I think we've done a good job tonight.
Yeah, we haven't. No complaints about our clothes yet, and no complaints of negativity just yet. But that usually happens after we're done, right? When the live show is done. What's up, Brim? How you doing, man? It's good to see you. It's been a minute. Yeah, just got out of okay. Yeah, he's out of Prosper, Texas is where he's from. He was actually forecasted to go to Texas Tech, if I remember right, or that was where people thought he was going to end up. And I think Rival said the same thing. I could be getting him mixed up with somebody else. I just don't think KJ was I just don't think KJ was a running pocket passer like Daylen Green.
I mean, KJ had a worse line than Daylen Green even had. I don't think we ever got to see what KJ was actually capable of. Because he never wasn't running for his life.
That last year with him was so bad. That offensive line was so bad.
It was the most pathetic line in college football.
It was so frustrating to watch. Like, it really was. I felt bad for KJ. I've said it before. He is a system quarterback. He blended it well with the Kendall Browse veer and shoot. He operated that offense really well. But you combine his last year with the Dan Enos effect and that atrocious offensive line, nothing was going to work. Nobody, no matter who you wanted to put in it back up, it wasn't going to, Chris Whale, put in Chris Whale. It just didn't work out, man. It just didn't matter.
Decatur High School could have put a better offensive line out there. So Elkin's offensive line would have been better than what we had that year.
Make sure everybody likes and subscribes, bro. We need some likes.
Yeah, hit the like. Likes
everybody
usually
from
come.
Elkins and Decatur right now is subscribing and liking that comment.
Yeah, right.
The few people we have in Decatur and Elkins are like, yeah, I like this place. What's up, Hog Wild Niner? How you doing, man? Hope all's well. Still needed a line. Just I don't know.
Got cut off.
Well, he says here they will status quo as long as they can. O-line would have helped KJ as well. It would have, and we're not saying KJ's like a world beater, but definitely in that system, I think he could have been a lot better. He could have had a far more productive year, something similar to what he did the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Had he been in the Kendall Browse offense and had he had a better offensive line. Yeah, well, again, he didn't. Steve-O, I don't disagree, but NIL ruined KJ. That is a legitimate argument, I think, at this point.
Yeah,
for sure. Oh, Ricky V, now that we're on the topic of football, he wants in. How worried are y'all about the wideouts?
50-50.
I mean, I haven't seen anything. You at least saw spring practice, so I have to go off what you say. But the fact that they keep trying to get more doesn't bode well.
I'm worried because they're tiny, but I'm okay because Bobby Petrino picked them. So I don't know. Or he at least okayed them.
I guess, like, there's a couple of guys that maybe – okay, so, for example, Courtney Crutchfield, right? You get Courtney Crutchfield out of the portal while he is a redshirt freshman. You're like, man, that dude, we know what he was. 247 had him as a freak athlete coming out of high school, and he was a big-time 4-star recruit. Many say he could be the next Treylon Burks as far as, like, accomplishments, not in type of receiver. And then he gets here, and, man, he struggled to make the 3 deep. And this, again, redshirt freshman, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's picking up the offense. I'm not really sure. The only thing I could get –
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you feel like he came in here thinking I'm good enough, I'm not going to have to try to make the 3 deep at Arkansas? I'm transferring because I don't have to try as hard?
I don't know.
Maybe.
It makes you wonder. Like,
he found out, didn't he?
The guys that are getting placed in front of him are upperclassmen, right? I mean, you're like Blake Omega, who's a super senior. Ismail Cisse or CC Ismail, he's a redshirt sophomore. Sharp is a 5th-year senior. These are older cats. These are guys that are a little bit older. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Like CJ Brown's in the mix in there somewhere. Antonio Jordan, the kid they got out of wide receiver U in Arkansas.
Warren.
God, I can't believe I blanked on Warren. Treylon Burks is, and all the great receivers that have ever played at Arkansas, their high school. He's one of them. He's out of that. He's out of that alumni there, so maybe he'll come in and be great. But there are a lot of questions, and like you guys already mentioned, like they keep going after more receivers, or they did. They kept bringing in more guys towards the end of that time. So I don't know, man. It's a tough question. I guess we're not going to know. There's also Monty Harrison, the former MLB player. I mean, there were days last year when I got to go to all of fall and spring camp where it was like, damn, this dude, okay, he's definitely an athlete. Let's see what he can do. And he did get to play on special teams, so he will be going in as a sophomore. But he's like a 31-year-old sophomore, right? But I don't know where he's going to be in the mix of all this. So there's so many questions. I know they like CJ Brown, but I think he struggled to maintain in the 2 deep. There's a lot of questions. Nobody stood out other than maybe Blake towards the end of spring camp. And it sounds like everything I've heard, him and Cisse, both of them kind of stood out towards the end of camp. But I don't know that anyone really pulled away from the pack, So it's a good question. And the same with tight end too, right? Like, what's going on at tight end? What are we giggling about? What I missed?
Kyle wrote, he said, Monty Harrison about as old as Ty. Oh, wait.
Yep. 5 stars for Kyle.
Ty's like, I hate everybody.
5,000 XP for Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle, are you by chance in our Discord, Kyle? Why are we getting Kyle-like behavior right here?
Yeah.
Why'd you have to go full-blown Kyle?
Drink a Monster and punch a hole in some sheetrock.
I don't understand it, man. What'd I ever do to you, Kyle?
That was pretty good.
But yeah, I don't know. But I will say this: there are some players I am, I'm kind of excited about. Rohan Jones could be something special. The tight end they got out of, I don't know, Afghanistan. I have no idea where he played ball last year, but Rohan Jones could be for real. Athletic as hell. I was watching him. I thought I was watching a wide receiver. Like his moves, how quick he was. Running looked like pretty clean route. Of course, I don't know what routes he was exactly running. You don't have the playbook in front of you, but I thought Rohan Jones looked pretty damn sharp. He kind of fluctuated a little bit. There's questions about whether him and Jaden Platt, who I think got a little banged up, if I remember right, through spring camp. But Jaden Platt was a former 4-star, played at A&M, or didn't play, redshirted. Well, maybe he did play last year. He's a redshirt sophomore this year. So maybe he did get some playing time if it wasn't special teams at the very least. But there's questions all over this offense, man. I mean, there really are. You got a lot of transplants. You got a lot of guys that are new on both sides of the ball. You look at the secondary, a lot of new faces there. So we're not going to know a damn thing until we get 2 or 3 games into the year, and that's just kind of the way it is.
Yep, I like it.
So. John. Oh, it's Bill Clinton. Okay. Oh, yeah, that explains it. All right.
Give them NXP for that sick burn.
Well, we're in our new cycle. By the way, we're supposed to announce our new cycle. We're coming up against it here. We're about to end the show. He just sent me a boom roasted GIF in Discord. We're going to start our new cycle 6 on Thursday at noon. So if you're in Discord, feel free to go share that there, or I will later. It doesn't really matter. But this Thursday at noon, cycle 6 will begin, and it will be over. I think we're looking at the 6th of July. So right after the 4th, we'll have this thing. We'll have it done.
It'll be over as soon as I start participating and win it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you finish in the top 25, I might give you a kiss on that head.
I thought you wanted me to participate.
I do want you to participate. Oh, you don't want. Okay, fair enough. You don't want me to kiss your head. All right,
fine.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks again for being here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe on your way out. I appreciate you too for taking the time out of your Tuesday evening to be here. These are always fun. Whether we agree or disagree, they're always fun. Hey, whatever, we're not going to always agree on everything, but this was a very entertaining show.
It'd be boring if we did.
I was going to say, if we agree on everything, you don't need us.
Yeah.
We'd be the Democratic Party. Anyways, we will we'll be back next week. And I don't know if I'm doing post-game content for Omaha or not. All I can say is make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to know for sure. And I'll try to give you guys a heads up in Discord. Again, on behalf of Travis Ford and Tim Neal, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.